Welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show that separates fact from fiction. On David Mitchell's team tonight, from Radio 2 to Strictly, it's presenter Richie Anderson. And here we go, it's comedy actor Catherine Parkinson. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, from Line of Duty to Hull Raisers, it's Taj Atwell. And stand-up comic and friend of the show, it's Chris McCausland. We start with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before, so they've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction, and Chris is up first.
Right. Read that for us, mate.
Oh, you're so show busy. Read it yourself. I once offended a member of a heavy metal band when I told him his metal wasn't heavy enough.
OK, what was the heavy metal band?
Well...
You can say what... I don't know the names of any heavy metal bands, so just say anything.
Nor do I.
I'm on the radio, so I might.
All right, OK.
I might.
Error Type 11.
Oh, no. We don't play them on Radio 2.
All right.
When was this, Chris?
Oh, this was maybe 20-odd years ago.
Right.
And how did you encounter the band Error Type 11?
I went to watch them.
Right. Because you were already a fan?
No. Yes. I thought I was.
So how had you heard of Error Type 11 in order to go to one of their gigs?
I had the album. I went to a concert, and I was expecting them to be really quite heavy, and they were quite whiny.
Oh. So, hang on, so you're not talking about literal metal?
It's a genre of music, David.
I know it's a genre of music.
It's a very loud, thrashy metal.
I wondered whether there might have been some sort of play on words within the assertion. But
No. I thought you were joking. That was a genuine question.
I thought there might have been some circumstances where, I don't know...
They were carrying some metal.
Yeah, maybe.
And he had a chance to hold it and then say, I thought your metal was going to be heavier.
OK, so
in what scenario would that happen?
I'm going to tell you.
Go on, then.
Chris is sharing a flat with someone who's in a heavy metal band many years ago.
Right.
And this person has to go and buy some saucepans for the flat. And then the saucepans are of insufficient quality for Chris's needs. And one of the problems, one of the signs of that is, unlike, say, a Le Creuset, this is a very light saucepan. It's not heavy enough. And Chris finds that hilarious. The idea that this heavy metal musician has bought stupidly light metal for a domestic context. Now, that would be an anecdote. But what happens is you had bought the album and were disappointed.
Well, they weren't as heavy as I thought they were going to be. And I mentioned this to one of the band members in the interval.
In the interval? I've not been to many gigs. But, so there's an interval in which it's possible to mingle with the band.
They had an interval, and they came off the front of the stage to the bar...
To chat?
To get some drinks.
All right.
Basically, it wasn't the band I thought it was.
So it wasn't Error Type 11?
So the band I saw was Error Type 11.
But the band you'd hoped to see was...
Eyelid.
Eyelid. OK. And how did you manage to buy tickets to an Error Type 11 concert when what you'd wanted was tickets to an Eyelid concert?
Because I had the CDs in the wrong cases.
So you had been listening repeatedly to Eyelid's music and attributing that music to Error Type 11.
Yeah, and the other way around.
Did they have similar album covers then? Eyelid and... What's it called?
Error Type 11.
I don't know if anyone's mentioned this, but I'm blind, so...
This is a bit awkward, because I don't know if anyone's mentioned it, but so's Catherine.
All right, David, what's it going to be?
True?
I think true.
I think it's a lie.
All right, well, the thing is, the specifics. If he was making it up, he wouldn't have said that a band member came down during the interval. He would have made up something better. So we're going to go true.
The saying is true. Chris, they think it's true. Was it true, or was it a lie?
It is true.
It's true. Chris did offend a heavy metaller. Taj, you're next.
I once looked a fool while trying to play it cool by a pool.
Rhyming one.
Where are we, Taj?
Soho House.
Soho House, the exclusive private members club for the fancy pants people of the media industry.
Are you a member, Rob?
Yes. And how recent is this?
About a year ago. And I'd only been a member at this point for about 2 days.
Is it an indoor pool or an outdoor pool?
It's an outdoor pool. And I need to put my bathing suit on.
Right.
Somehow.
So you've turned up, but you're wearing normal, non-swimming clothes.
I'm wearing a full-length gingham dress.
OK.
I like the way you sounded the second G. Gingham.
Are you not supposed to pronounce the second
Oh, I don't
G?
know. There's no right or wrong.
No, because I pronounce a lot of words wrong.
No, not at all. It's not a criticism, it's an observation.
I love it when Rob's trying to be charming and it massively backfires. He always starts with, you know, I love the way it always ends up, I wasn't having a go at you!
No, I didn't mean to offend you. All I'm saying is... I thought it was rather charming.
So, what happens next?
I decided to, for some reason, change by the pool.
To look cool?
Not to look cool, just because I didn't really want to walk in front of everyone.
It's odd, isn't it, though, the idea that you can't be stood next to a pool in your knickers, but you can in bathing bottoms, which are exactly the same.
I know you've had trouble with the police over this. Now is not the time to raise that subject again.
Listen, you find me your bathing bottoms that you can get them both to stay in, and I will wear them. You have to choose left or right.
So you decided it would be too embarrassing to walk past the people to go
I was
to a
just feeling a bit
changing room.
self-conscious. I didn't want to get up and walk in front of everyone, so I thought I'll just change by the pool
Right.
and shimmy my knickers off. And I put them in a plastic bag and I shimmied my bathing suit on underneath.
I have to, when I take my pants off, I have to put them in a plastic bag. My wife insists.
In the bag, not the bag, straight into landfill.
Well, David, it's funny you say not the bag, because I didn't knock the bag.
Yeah.
And I look over and think, oh, I recognise that plastic bag, and I recognise those knickers that are now out of the bag and just floating in the pool.
How did they get in the pool?
The wind blew the bag.
Right.
So then I look up and go, my knickers! And I jump up and try to run towards the pool. And in my gusto, I fell headfirst into the pool.
Right.
Legs went over the top
I'll
of
tell you what,
me.
if this isn't true, you've watched a lot of Benny Hill.
And I landed in the pool with
Right.
my full dress on, and everyone's just laughing at me.
All right, what's it going to be, Catherine?
I know her, so I think
She
it's
does.
true.
You think it's true? OK.
I don't know her, but I think she's lying.
So, true lie,
Yeah.
but you know her.
And I love gingham.
Yes.
Gingham.
It doesn't matter.
Gingham.
It's however you want to
Why
say
you
it.
made people so self-conscious. Left to you, people would just be sitting here in awkward silence, like round that horrible swimming pool at Soho House. Frightened of their own shadows. Should it be sunny enough to cast any shadows, which it never is, sitting there in a gale, touching each other, while pants are relentlessly blown into the water. Is that the Britain we've made? We'll go true.
Taj, was it true or were you telling us a lie?
It was indeed true.
Oh, my goodness me! It's true. Taj did look like a fool in a pool. Catherine, you're next.
I used to think water polo was played on horses.
Lee's team.
Is it not? Because I would think that's true.
Just so you know, Taj, you're saying this out loud.
OK, is this a common sport that everybody knows about? Because I've never seen it.
Which one?
Water polo.
Water polo is the game where you've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 aside and you're trying to hit the ball.
And where do you go to watch that?
Well, you don't, it's boring.
That's what I mean.
It's not
It's in
like,
the Olympics and...
it's
you know.
not like on the level of football,
Yeah.
but it's... I mean, I've heard of it. Water
I mean,
polo.
presumably you've got to be able to ride and swim.
So you thought it was... and now I'm dealing with two people. So you thought... what did you think? You thought...
I thought the same as Taj. It was a long time ago when I was at university. I lived with some very...
You were an adult?
Just.
What kind of adult... Sorry.
Me?
So you were with the type of people that play water polo and polo?
I knew that they were all really sporty and they all had their sports. And this particular person, I knew he played water polo, and I said one day, you know, are the horses all right with that?
Just describe what you were thinking in your head is the sport.
So big swimming pool, because it's
Oh, you
got to
actually thought
accommodate
it was in a
horses.
swimming pool? not in a lake or a river, an actual swimming pool.
Yeah.
And how deep would it be in relation to the horses?
It'd have to be so deep. I mean, obviously the horses aren't going to be always underwater. They're going to be coming out of the air.
Oh, you think quite a lot of this is the horses are underwater?
Yeah.
Taj, you think this is plausible?
I mean, it's just blowing my mind that this doesn't actually exist, if I'm honest with you.
Well, this is so confusing because we're in a situation where we want to say, could anyone really be that stupid? and then I realise that's really rude to you, so I don't know what to say.
No, it's fine, I'll take it.
I think it's... Catherine, I think it's an understandable mistake.
Thank you.
Chris, what do you think?
I think she did believe it.
We'll say it's true.
Catherine, they think it's true. Was it true, or was it a lie?
It was, in fact, true.
Oh, thank God. Not just me.
Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. It's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Charlotte. So, Richie, what is Charlotte to you?
This is Charlotte, and I fired her from my Spice Girls tribute band.
Right. Catherine, how do you know Charlotte?
This is Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. She was responsible for the safe return of my missing goldfish.
Right. Then finally, David, your relationship with Charlotte.
This is Charlotte, and she crashed her Lime bike when she saw me take my top off.
So there we have it. Lee, where will you begin?
So, Richie.
Yes.
When you say your Spice Girls tribute act, do you mean you were the manager or you were in the tribute act?
Well, I was a bit of everything, so I was in the tribute act, but I was also manager, choreographer.
Right.
Which
Who were
Spice
you?
Girl?
I'm not going to lie, you don't look like any of them.
Scary Spice.
You were scary.
I was always had to be Scary Spice when I was playing Spice Girls when I was younger.
Am I the only one that's not been in a Spice Girls tribute act? And did you wear the full costume and wig and everything?
No, so basically we were just like a tribute band within the school. We were called the Spice Mix.
Oh, this is when you were a kid?
Yeah.
What age would you have been?
11-ish? 11, 12.
Name the other band members. I don't mean the Spice Girls, I mean the friends.
So...
Even I could name the Spice Girls.
David, I don't think you could name the Spice Girls. Do it now.
I think I could.
Go on,
I
then.
might get...
I might get some of them wrong. But I could do
I
it.
know all of them,
Yeah.
but, you know...
Let's see you try them.
Jerry Halliwell,
Yeah.
it was Ginger Spice.
Yes.
Victoria, she wasn't Victoria Beckham initially, but she is now, and she was Posh Spice.
Yes.
Can I do the others later?
No.
Emma Bunton,
Yay.
Baby Spice. She's been on this programme.
That's right.
The others
Well
haven't been on
remembered.
this programme.
Who are the others?
Mel's B and C.
Yes, well done.
Did you do any gigs?
We'd perform at break times and we'd have a massive crowd. All the dinner ladies would watch, and we'd stand on the steps.
That's a good sign, because they've got places to go.
And we'd perform, and we'd get the biggest round of applause.
When you say perform, were you singing or miming?
We were singing.
Now, Charlotte's not allowed to make a sound, but you could give us a quick blast.
No. Of what?
What do you think?
Oh, no. What now?
Imagine the dinner ladies are watching.
Should I do the rap from one a bit?
Yes, that'd be nice.
We can be the other band members a bit for you.
Yeah,
Are you out of your mind?
So maybe if you two look like you're just sort of jamming with me.
No, that is off the table.
So, here's the story from A to Z. You want to get with me, you better listen carefully. We've got Em and the person lecturing in your face. We've got G like MC lecturing, and Easy V doesn't go for free. She's a real lady. After me, ha-ha, you'll sing.
I just want to die. That was very good. I remember that, now you do it.
So, you said something about Charlotte leaving.
Well, she was fired.
Fired?
Yeah.
Well, how so?
Well, Charlotte was Ginger Spice, and I'll never forget that day, Rob, when I got home and I heard the news that Jerry Halliwell had left the band. It broke me. I was gutted, and obviously I couldn't get to Jerry, so the next day I went in and fired Charlotte. But she was our Ginger Spice.
No way.
I was fuming.
If this is true, you're an awful human being.
How did she take it, Richie?
I think, well, I remember just, like, stomping around the school, like, where is she? and then I saw her in assembly, and I was like, you're out. But, you know, that's showbiz.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Richie, if you wanted to apologise to Charlotte, you could do it now. There'll be a permanent record of it.
I'd just like to say that you were a crucial part of that band, and I was just being vile, and I'm so sorry. Genuinely. And I hope you found happiness.
All right, who would you like to quiz next?
Catherine, remind us again.
This is Charlotte, and she was responsible for the safe return of my missing goldfish.
And when did your goldfish go missing?
Well, I didn't actually realise the goldfish had gone missing. Charlotte and I are on a neighbourhood WhatsApp. She put on the WhatsApp that her cat had brought home a fish in its mouth. We've got a very small pond with 5 fish, and I asked her to send me a photograph of the fish up close.
Was the fish returned back to you alive or dead?
Alive, which was
wow.
extraordinary.
Well, how long was it out of the
Alive?
water for?
Well, I don't think it would have been very long because...
Was the cat carrying it in a plastic bag like he'd won it at the fair?
With a pair of pants in there as well.
Charlotte did return him in a plastic bag.
How far away does she live from you?
Probably about a 2-minute walk.
How big is the pond?
Not very big.
You keep on saying it's a tiny pond. How small?
Or how big? It's the same question, isn't it?
What is size?
If you were to step into the pond, whereabouts in your body would it go up to?
Some really personal.
Or as David would say, how deep is it?
It would depend what footwear I was wearing.
Imagine you're barefoot.
Yeah.
How far up before you get an algae line?
To my sort of breast area.
That's...
Whoa. Your
That's
pond
deep.
is going up to your breast. That's a
My
deep...
chest
That's a
area.
deep pond.
That's a deep pond, Catherine.
I would say probably my waist area.
You answer... Oh, dear. Is it lined?
Is it what? Lined?
Lined.
Yes,
Is your
it's
pump?
lined, yes.
You got a pump?
Have I got a pump?
Have you got a pump?
Personally, a pump?
Have you got a pump?
A breast pump?
Not a breast pump. Have you... That would be an odd question. If I had a flat tyre and I knocked on your door and said, sorry, have you got a pump? And you went, what, a breast pump? I would go, you're very odd, aren't you?
Is the pond pumped?
Yes, of course it's pumped, but I'm not
It's very
responsible-
excited. It's been talked about on television.
OK, Lee, what about David's claim? David, remind us of your relationship.
This is Charlotte, and she crashed her Lime bike when she saw me take my top off.
Where were you, David?
I was walking along the pavement near my house in London.
Right.
Were you on your own?
I was.
What were you wearing, David?
I might have been wearing shorts.
Short trousers?
In shorts?
Yeah.
And what is covering up that manly chest of yours?
A short-sleeved shirt.
Do you wear T-shirts ever?
Not very often.
Why not?
Because I'm very, very formal.
Are you? Formal from the waist up.
I don't-
But quick but relaxed from the waist down.
From the waist down, I'm positively familiar.
OK. Why did you take your top off?
Because I was being attacked by a wasp.
Of course. But
why did you say-
But did it go up the shirt?
Yes.
Why didn't you just sort of do that and waft it
No,
out?
I just because the wasp was just nearby, and I thought I would frighten it with my bare torso.
So you took your top off. Now, talk us through Charlotte's.
What did she crash into?
A car.
Oh, a moving car?
No. A very unemotional car.
Right, OK.
But no, a stationary car.
Talk us through what happens after she's crashed the bike.
Well, by this point, I've got my shirt back on to everyone.
The wasp has gone.
I don't know where the wasp's gone, to be honest. We tried to get the wasp on the show, but it was unable to be contacted. So she's hit the back of a parked car.
Yeah.
And I noticed this happening, and I go over, and I'm very, very nice.
Are you?
Yes, in general,
Wow.
but specifically on this occasion.
Did you swap numbers afterwards, then?
Well, she asked for a photo. And she said, but I then started to take the shirt off. She said, no.
keep it on.
She took a photo, and I must say, opportunist that I am, I did think, oh, maybe this is one for the programme, you know?
Oh, I thought that was going to end with opportunities. I said, do you like a Weatherspoon's
Yes, well,
breakfast?
You see,
Which isn't a euphemism.
All right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team.
Wow.
Is Charlotte Richie's snubbed singer, Catherine's fishy friend, or David's stunned cyclist?
So who are we ruling out? Let's rule someone out.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely Catherine.
We'll rule
Catherine
David
out.
I think so.
It's a long time to survive out of water in a
Yeah.
cat's mouth. Unless the cat's mouth was very wet.
Now, what about Richie and the spice mix?
The thing about his story, which makes it the most plausible to me, is that he managed to do that rap.
I mean, we could probably all do a bit of Ice Ice Baby, but we weren't Vanilla Ice tribute acts, were we?
That's a very good point. And David...
I don't think David wears shorts.
Hang on.
David,
Wait.
Yes.
you've got a fly in your... It's gone now.
you see, this can happen. Insects, you know.
Take your top off! Weirdly, I think the clapping dinner ladies is the most plausible story.
Yeah.
It's the detail of the
Gotta
clapping
be.
dinner ladies.
Yeah.
So,
So it's Richie.
you're saying it's Richie. OK. Charlotte, would you please reveal your true identity?
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and Richie fired me from his Spice Girls tribute band.
Yes, Charlotte is Richie's snubbed singer. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Which brings us to our final round, quick-fire lies, and we start with... It's Lee.
Once, whilst house-sitting for my friend on his farm, I had to leap out of bed in the middle of the night and deliver a litter of piglets.
David's team.
It's sweet, that, isn't it? Sweet story.
Yeah, it's a lovely story.
It is.
House sitting for a friend of yours on a farm.
Yeah, and he woke me up in the middle of the night and said... I
I
need
thought
to...
you were house sitting.
What?
Yeah, good point.
If you're
No.
house sitting, he won't be there.
No. I was house-sitting,
Yes.
but he'd been called in the night, and I wasn't answering the phone.
Sorry, just going back a bit.
Yeah.
Right, whose house are you house sitting in?
I was house-sitting for a friend.
And this house is a farm.
It's a farm, and someone
Okay.
else lives on the farm.
Right.
And he couldn't... He phoned me
But why is he trying to get through to you?
because he's heard that the piglets are going to give birth.
The piglets are going to get
The pigs.
How did he hear that? Did the pig ring him?
The pigs.
That guy you've got up at the house isn't picking up. Can you try ringing him?
I've never said this in 18 years, but I will say it. Can I start again? The truth is, I'm on a farm. I'm house-sitting for my friend on the farm.
Who's a farmer?
He's a farmer, yes.
Where is he, by the way?
He's gone on holiday.
He's on holiday.
Yes.
Right.
He's
What
gone-
happens next?
I don't know. He sits by the pool. He has a drink.
How did you get to the situation where you deliver the pigs?
So I'm in the house, and there's a guy who's just nothing to do with the farm whatsoever. He's just renting a small bungalow at the end of the farm.
Right.
Now, I am asleep, right?
Yeah.
And the pig has gone into labour.
Yeah.
And the guy who rents the bungalow
Yeah.
has heard a noise, and he rings the man, doesn't he, the farmer?
Right.
And he says, right, I'll ring my mate who's house-sitting, see if he can deal with it.
Right.
But he can't get through to me.
Why?
Because my phone has not got any battery.
Why can't the guy in the bungalow deal with it?
Because he hasn't got a charger.
So when was this?
I would say I was about 23.
So that's about 40 years ago.
It was 2023.
It was...
When they had mobile phones.
So it wasn't. It wasn't 40 years ago. It was just recently.
He's peeked through the sky and he's seen the sow. I know all the words. I've seen Charlotte's Web.
Right.
He sees one bit of a piglet coming out.
So then bungalow guy has to go up to the farmhouse and ring on the doorbell.
Correct. He says, I think the sow is giving birth. Either that or one of the smaller pigs is playing hide and seek.
So what happened?
Well, the pig was in distress. Not this dress, in his own dress. The pig was in distress.
Okay.
And...
Rubber gloves?
I don't know what his name was. And...
Her name.
Her name, sorry. Her, yes.
Very important point here.
So immediately I go in, and by this point, 2 of them are already out. And there's another one trying to get out. And that's where I step in.
Did you pull it?
I didn't get off with it, if that's what you mean.
Did you pull the tail?
I did. Pull the little... no, not the tail. I pulled him by his little trotters.
Oh, like that?
I just did that. Slowly coasting out the trotters there. Slowly.
Are you pulling or are you milking the sow?
No, I'm slowly... Because you don't... the first rule of getting a piglet out of a sow is you don't do that, do you? No, because he might be holding on to the other one like that. Then you've got them all coming out at once and you can't deal with that. It's too much stress. You know, I mean, I was frazzled, which is not the right word to use. And I was pulling, and out. That one comes out. So I've got this one out, so immediately put it onto my breast. I did not lactate or breastfeed the piglet.
Once it was all done and dusted, how many piglets?
There was 14. 14 piglets.
14 piglets.
Yeah.
Did they name any of the piglets after you or anything? Because that's amazing what you did.
Thank you very much.
Did you get a plaque or anything?
Do you know what, genuinely? Gave me a pig. Gave me one of the pigs.
What have you called it?
I can't remember now because I didn't keep it very long, I'm afraid.
Oh.
I was... there's only one word I can think of. Peckish.
So, Richie, what are you thinking?
I can't get on board with it. I think there might be some inaccuracies. I think it's a lie.
Catherine?
Well, I mean, obviously it's a lie, but it was really... I was really there with you, though.
Yeah.
You did
That's funny, 'cause
paint
I
the
wasn't.
scene.
Let's go for a guess.
Our
It's a
guess
lie.
is that it's a lie.
Guessing it's
guessing.
a lie. Lee, was it a lie, or was that actually true?
It was, in fact, a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Lee wasn't a pig's midwife. That noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show, and I can reveal that David's team has won by 3 points to 2. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.